Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the fifth episode of Gaming After Dark. I am your host, Noof Nukem, and I'm here with the also lovely host.
Primal Eve.
That is right. We're going to have a hot episode for you tonight. We got some good topics. We got some loosey-goosey topics. Man, Primal, I can't believe we're like 5 weeks. We've had 5 episodes already. Where does the time
I
go?
know. It's definitely like it flew by. I'm having a great time just chilling out, bullshitting about things that we love, and it's been a great time.
Porn After Dark. Speaking of our, let's give a big shout out to obviously our fantastic supporters who've been with us from the start. Let's start with Spider-Man through 5-6. First in the room tonight, we got Stinkin' Corpse, our good buddy Stinky. Me and Stinky just finished on a podcast a little while ago. We got Midway Monster joining us. What's up, Midway? Timothy Dixon is here as well. So yeah, we're gonna have a good show, guys. Make sure you spread the link, spread the love. Let's build this guy. Me and Primal want to take this podcast places. We think we got something cool here. We're glad you guys are enjoying it. As I mentioned before, and I'll say this again, and Primal may iterate on this. If you got kids around, or maybe the wife is lurking, this podcast often features some adult humor, some terrible jokes, and everything in between. Everything except Noof getting naked on camera, which we do not want to see. Well, I don't know, Primal, maybe somebody want to see that, but we don't need to get the channel banned, right?
Right. I think we could do like a nip slip or something. Just like a little peek real quick.
Well, maybe they'd like to see your nip slip. That's for sure.
Don't even man, my,
uh,
my my boobs are pretty big. It's difficult for me to even take a picture. I swear, even if I wear a turtleneck, there's still
oh
fucking
wow,
cleavage. So
screen fillers. I like that. Oh man, well we're gonna have a great show for you tonight. What you been playing, Primal? What you been up to? What's the games keeping you busy the last since we last chatted?
Still hitting up the Apex. Absolutely, I'm like addicted to this game. You have no idea. I play it for hours, hours, and hours, and I lose. I think I won once, but I'm always in the bottom two.
Okay.
It's been a consistent thing, so that's what makes me keep going. Is because I want to get that win.
Well, we know you like it
Um,
on the bottom.
I like to swap it up though. Um, but no, I've been kind of checking out my backlog now that I'm done with Kingdom Hearts. I went back to Tales of Vesperia. I'm just trying to hit up a bunch of my single player stuff before more multiplayer games have come out. I have not gone back to Anthem yet,
Gotcha.
though. I'm not so sure why.
Gotcha. Well, all those hours spent on Apex and you still haven't sent me a game invite. How dare you?
Oh, I know. I'm so awful.
That and I finally picked up Anthem. I finally gave in and said, fuck it, my friends are playing it. I was actually watching some more video on it. I said, you know what? It's BioWare. I'm gonna give this game a shot. And what's the worst? What's the worst can happen, right? So yeah, I went out and bought it. I'm actually enjoying the hell out of it, to be honest with you. Just the combat is so fulfilling, the flight controls, the graphics. Yeah, it's not the Mass Effect series, it's not meant to be, but I'm really
Right.
enjoying it. Shout out to Innate. I guess it's Innate. Maybe it's Anate. I don't know. It depends how you pronounce it. But we'll start with Innate. How are you doing? Thanks for joining the podcast. UK Dad's in the house. Oh boy,
Oh
he's still
man.
up. Well, he's up in every sense of the word, I'm sure, right now. He's had a few beers in. What's going on there, UK baby?
Dazzy baby.
Our Rob just showed up. Thanks a lot, our Rob. Alrighty, so obviously there you go. Primal's been playing a lot of Apex, a bit of Anthem, a bit of everything. I've been also just a bit of everything lately. It's been crazy. Firewall on PlayStation VR as well. Fantastic fucking game. If you guys have a VR, make sure you go pick that game up. It's dynamite. I can't go wrong with that. All right, so let's get into our first topic of the night. Let's talk about some things that are stirring the pot, I guess you could say, in the gaming world. And Primal sent a couple of these topics in earlier, and I guess the first one, since we're kind of segueing into, let's talk about Anthem. Apparently, impressions on the game so far, and about this. Apparently, it's been bricking some PlayStation 4 systems. I'm not quite sure so much about Xbox, even though I've heard some reports there too. So, Primal, what are you hearing? What do you think of the whole situation? And how bad do you think this could ultimately be?
First of all, BioWare can't catch a break. There really isn't. Like, there's always something going on, and now it's gotten to the point where it's actually hitting up our hardware. I have Anthem for the Xbox. I haven't had any real issues. I've had a couple dashboards and some sound issues, and there's been a couple times where I wasn't able to join a friend, but that kind of comes with some of the gaming territory with multiplayer games. Um, as far as having like a system bricking, that sucks. I'm sorry, PlayStation players. I there's really nothing
Yeah.
more to say to it than that sucks. And I really hope BioWare can figure out what the fuck is going on, because they're going to lose an entire community of
Yeah.
gamers over there on the PlayStation. So,
Yeah, unlike a porn star, it's not worth beating this one to death, right?
nope, been there, done that.
Um, yeah, it's causing some bugs. I mean, I personally haven't had a lot of say in-game bugs, except I have had twice. Um, the game shut down on me, and it's kicked me back to the Xbox Live dashboard. I
Yep.
don't know what the deal is up with it. And it usually happens when I'm on Fort Tarsus and I'm sort of getting ready to go through the big doors which load. So yeah. So there you go. The big doors which load. It's kicking me out.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? We got Dreadpool is in the chat. Crispy Bomba showed up. Shizno Elite is here. What's happening, people? Who else did I miss? Midway Monster, welcome. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't know. The bottom line is if it's totally broken your system, I hope that somebody takes onus on it. How do you prove some of these things? I guess that's the hard part.
Hmm.
I know earlier tonight as I was talking to Supersonic Station and the guys from Retro Renegades, like Supersonic figures that Anthem on his Xbox One X bricked his system. He had some problems that kind of went down after that game. So he's thinking it was that game. I don't know for sure, but luckily enough, his system was just barely outside of warranty. So I think Microsoft is going to replace it or fix it for him. So that's good. Chaos Theory, what's happening, bro? Saltiest Gaming, what's happening? My brother from the Salty's Gaming Podcast is in the house. Thanks, Salty, for playing Anthem with me the other night, man. Had a blast. Hopefully, we can do that again. Born Distracted, what's happening? Yeah, how is it possible that a game breaks a system? I don't know. Born Distracted is a great question. But hopefully, somebody does the right thing. Have you ever had any crazy stuff like that happen to you, Primal, with any other consoles where a game was just constantly problematic? I know that's probably a hard question to answer.
Shit. Like, as far as just regular issues with the Xbox, sometimes I'll have some games that are like, this game took too long to load, and I have been dashboarded quite a bit, but nothing. Oh, wait a second, hang on. There was a game. I don't know if it was Gears when it first launched or not, but it would freeze up the Xbox and I would have to restart it. Or if somebody quit or too many people quit in Gears, not for like a whole host thing like in Gears 2
Mm-hmm.
or 3, but in 4, if a certain amount of people quit or someone like jumped in and jumped to freeze and everybody's Xboxes would freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Um, other than that, besides the whole red ring of death on the
Right.
360, I haven't really had too many terrible issues. So
Yeah.
I haven't had anything completely broken. Actually, the red ring, I did go through 3 systems, 360s, but
Yeah. I made a
luckily
joke
everything
earlier. I
has
said the
been
reason the
going very
PlayStation
smooth.
4s. I said the reason the PlayStation 4s are bricking is because they're trying so hard to do true 4K and they can't do it. So they're just breaking up. They're like busting a gut, like, "Hey, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get
I
there.
saw
Oh, here
yeah.
comes the checkerboard rendering. Oh, it's too hard. It's too hot on my back. Oh, time to cut." Yeah, you know what? Like, I don't know. I can't recall anything myself. I know I've had instances before, just can't recall off any of the top of my head. But I mean, there's always
Yeah.
something. There always seems to be games that are more problematic than others. Like I said, going to the dashboard, freezing in
Yeah.
places, blah blah blah. Even sometimes the games that get those stupid like level breaking bugs. I remember one time I was playing Recore. I think I jumped by a wall or something and I got like stuck and it wouldn't let me, the
Mhm.
door would not open, whatever. I needed to go through this door, but it would not fucking open. It was weird. So I had to kind of go back to another checkpoint and restart. Like there's all sorts of crap like that, you know?
Yeah, like the anything that's game breaking drives me nuts. The one game breaking glitch that absolutely killed me was in Zelda Ocarina of Time in the water temple. I think there was something where either a switch or like if you didn't hit it in the correct order, you couldn't go back. And back in the day, you really couldn't have a variety of save points, so you'd have to start the entire game over,
Right.
and that killed me. But luckily, I haven't run into any. Actually, I did recently on the PlayStation Final Fantasy 9, where I can't continue because my own dumbass didn't level up my characters and I
Yeah.
didn't. But other than that, no other game breaking glitches or anything else.
Yeah, I used to hate a lot of those multiplayer games back in the day. They're not so bad now, but I think you kind of alluded to it. Multiplayer games where you'd be kicking ass, but the rest of your team was probably sucking, and you're actually having a pretty good game. All of a sudden, they start backing out, so the game just automatically dumps you and kicks you out, and you're just like, "Well, that's
Yes.
great." And then all your stats don't count, all that work for nothing. Or like a
Mhm.
lot of games now, if people drop out, they refill. They refill the lobby with people, but like earlier
I
online games were more the other way around. Like people quit, that was it. Everybody was done.
Oh, it was awful, especially with Gears 2, and I swear Gears 3, no matter how many times they promise the servers, there's no servers. But that you would have the host of the game, and once you made them upset or angry, they would either quit the game so that everybody comes out, or they would do a lag switch where they would unplug their router or modem momentarily, and that they would be the only people that can move around in the game. So they could kill your whole entire team while you're just like walking into a wall. They used to drive me nuts. I used
Yeah.
to hate that.
Oh, those people with the really bad lag and they're fucking, you can't shoot them. They take a billion hits. They're just like all glitching all over the map. They're
Yes.
1 second, gone the next, and they show up like they're 5 feet away. It's like you're right in front of me a second ago. Oh, drives me nuts.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, guys, we're not gonna sit here and go on this like because it's not even really a newsy thing per se, and I'm sure it's a small percentage of players when you think about the millions that probably already bought this game. We just hope that it gets remedied quickly and that they find out the root of the problem, and that anybody that has had a system get brick, hopefully somehow or another they get that sorted out and get it repaired, what have you. So yeah, glitching or ditching noof. Yeah, I'm not sure which one there, Crispy Bomb. Not sure which one. Dazzy's special word for the night is sucking. I don't know what he's sucking, but yeah. He's got to go to bed, he says. Well, we know you got to go to bed, UK Daz, but I bet the sheets have risen already by several inches, I'm sure. All right. Oh man, unbelievable, right? Let's talk about maybe the next little topic or so. Let's see. But the game itself, the problem you are enjoying Anthem for the most part. Like, what's impressed you most about it for the game?
Um it's
You don't
difficult.
know?
Well, I about Anthem?
Yeah, like what sticks out to you most is like the coolest feature of the game.
You get to play with your friends.
Yes,
That's it.
that's always a good thing when you get to play with your friends. It's
Right.
not often you get to
Well,
have a four-way.
oh, it's so much better with friends. But no, it's I like I don't know. There really isn't anything for me that's too unique about it.
Yeah,
I think it is great for like the different classes. I do like that, and it is gorgeous. It is
yeah,
absolutely beautiful. The environment is completely gorgeous until you hit a loading screen. Um, but
yeah.
yeah,
Which are a lot of them. Holy shit, is there a lot of them?
and you never know it. And I swear, it's not just when you enter a cave or anything. It could just happen whenever it feels like it. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, I haven't noticed so much of the level loading yet, but I mean, obviously, we go back to Tarsus loads, go back to the Forge load. Every time you basically switch something is a long load screen. You know what I mean? Just kind of gets annoying at a while. Really, kind of takes you out of your rhythm, so to speak. You know what I mean? And unless you're in a party chat, you can't talk to people when you're in the loading screen, so that kind of gets annoying. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Dreadpool in the chat. He said about the flying and the flying mechanics and the shooting
Yeah.
mechanics are amazing, and plus the javelins feel uniquely different. They all have their strengths, sort of weaknesses, and I think they're all fun to play. It just depends on the kind of style you're going for. So far, I've been mostly using the Ranger, dabbled a little bit Colossus, and I'm hearing good things about the Interceptor. A lot of guys like the Storm. What's
Oh
your
yeah,
favorite of
I'm
the
all about the
four?
storm. I'm a storm person. One, because I feel like a mage, and in any game, I'm that mage person. But also because it feels like the characters that I used in Mass Effect Andromeda.
Mhm.
Whenever I played the multiplayer, all of the abilities and the combos and the guns are almost like an exact duplicate of that multiplayer. So I kind of stuck with what I knew.
Yeah. Let's go with the chat. What's everybody's favorite javelin from Anthem so far? Would love to know. We got our Rob. This is Ranger for Life. Midway Monster, the Ranger, then the Interceptor. So we got Shizno likes the Storm and the Interceptor. So far it looks like the Rangers got 2, Interceptors got 2. Anybody else got a favorite that you like so far? Oh, is Middle Age Gamer up in here? Hey, what's going on, Middle Age? I want to play Anthem, but Devil May Cry Secure and Division Tour next week. Yeah, I know, man. This has been one of the most craziest. This has been one of the craziest first quarters of a year that I can ever remember.
Yeah.
Metro just came out, Kingdom Hearts. What else did we have besides that? Resident Evil 2. Now you got Anthem. You had Crackdown 3. Just the games just keep coming. We got Days Gone just a few months out. BZ McNasty likes the Colossus.
It has been the craziest first quarter, and usually the first quarter, almost going into the second quarter, I feel like has usually been Nintendo popping out all of their remakes. It's just that's what it feels like, especially around like holiday times and stuff. And usually for Xbox, I feel like that they're more of like a fourth quarter.
Dazzy, go to sleep, man. You've been drinking too much tonight. If
Yeah.
you're talking about doing me in the ass. Oh boy, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No,
ignore that one.
I read that as that too. That's why I just kept carrying on. I'm sure it was just word vomit coming out of my mouth. I have no idea what the hell I just said. So
Word vomit.
thanks, Daz. Word vomit.
Crazy Greek dude is here. What's up, Crazy?
It.
Final Fantasy VII is this month, according to Spider-Man.
Yes,
Silent Wyvern, he doesn't play Anthem. That's cool. Jago Kukin is stopping by, taking a few minutes out from watching his big screen 50-inch TLC television. Glad Jago finally got with the times and got himself his own TV, so now you don't have to share with his woman anymore.
Oh, he does? He finally has his own TV?
Oh, yeah, good for him.
Oh, shit. Congratulations, Jago. It's about
damn man.
time.
Bad enough to share the toilet with your old lady, let alone the television, right?
Right.
All right, let's get back to a couple more topics here. Let's go in number 2, Halo Infinite Cyberpunk 23. Well, rumored and talked to be shown at E3 this year. What are some of your expectations? What will you kind of hope for? Maybe what do you don't hope for? The sort of thing. How about you, Eve? Which of those two games, if it comes down to it, which one are you more excited for? Halo Infinite or Cyberpunk? I'm curious.
Cyberpunk. I just really want fucking Cyberpunk. Wow. Yes. Oh yeah. I do love Halo. I've been all about Halo. Halo is the primary reason why I really got into Xbox and multiplayer. I fell in love with Halo 2 and it was over since then. But
Does he know me and Primal is up her ass? Okay, maybe I read it wrong, but it oh man. Go ahead. Cyberpunk all day. Nate says Cyberpunk as well.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I know we had like the whole 45-minute gameplay trailer-esque thing that they had going on, and so it just makes me wonder what else are they going to show us. I want to see, I don't know, they could take a giant shit on the stage and I will be in love. Like, I'm so excited for this game. I've been waiting a very, very long time for it. I'm actually, I don't even know what they could show, because we've seen a good, oh, I know what they could show me, a fucking date. I would love them to actually.
Are you talking about the game date or going on a date here?
I could use both.
You could use both.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to see if there is an actual release date.
Yeah,
Halo would be great. I know I saw something on Twitter earlier today about them saying that they didn't want to show any gameplay because it would blow the other games out of the water. It was too good. So now I'm kind of curious as to what it is they will be showing us. But unfortunately, I know a lot of people are going to hate on me. I do love Halo. I love Halo dearly. I might be a little haloed out. But if they show us something new and something that's going to really pull me in, I will be all about it.
Yeah, but you're going to buy both, right?
Oh, yeah.
For me, it's Halo all day, every day. Like, I'm a Halo fan. Halo is one of the reasons that I have an Xbox. I'm super excited to see what Infinite brings forth. There hasn't been very much shown, and we know more about Cyberpunk at this point than we do Halo Infinite. So I can't blame anyone for being more excited for Cyberpunk, especially coming from the pedigree, that they have, from the Witcher developer and all that stuff. But I think the new engine, the change of pace, it looks like they're, based on that little trailer we've seen, that maybe they're sort of taking us to the past. It might be a prequel, maybe going back is a little bit, you know what I mean? but I'm definitely excited for Halo because I think they got big things in store. Definitely 343 proved one thing, that while they may have missed the mark a little bit with the campaign on 5, they definitely proved that they can do multiplayer. The multiplayer was some of the best we've ever seen. It was well done. They kept supporting the game very, very long after launch. It's even cool that they even kept going back and fixing the Master Chief collection, which is awesome. And then because they could have just gave up on that, but you know what? How many updates has that game had? It's finally, pretty close to being the Master Chief collection that we had all hoped for at launch. So good on them. Who's up in the chat here now? Did we miss anybody? Alan Savage is here. He says I'm the new Ron Burgundy. I don't know. Well, Dazzy's going to lick all of you inside and out, so we know he's not excited about Halo or Cyberpunk. He's just about
Good
excited
to
for a
know.
trip
There
to New
won't
York.
be a
Right?
surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of you guys are going to have to get on a flight somewhere. I think fireworks are going to happen. It's either that or some really dirty, nasty sex. I don't know. Yeah, Daz is going deep, let me tell you. I hope he's not packing a 10-inch because he's well up there by now.
It'll be a quick 30 seconds. We already discussed it.
We'll see if he can last longer than he drinks a beer, right? Cheers to Dazzy. Beer. Oh man, great stuff. So I think it's hard to say. I mean, RPG fans seem to be really stoked about Cyberpunk. Like I said, a release date would be nice at this E3 because right now it seems like we don't really know if it's a year out, it's 2 years, if it's a next gen title. What is it? You know what I mean? So he says 3 minutes. That's not bad. That's generous.
What, the first 2 minutes to take your clothes off and then 30 minutes to get it in? I mean, 30 seconds to get it in?
That's it. As long as you trim your bush, so you don't have to go through the forest before you find the daylight. Oh, man. See some of those old 70 porno movies? It's like, holy hell, man. A weed whacker going in there. My
Debbie
God.
Does Dallas. That was one of my first 70s
Debbie Does
porn.
Dallas. Holy smoke. I saw one time. It was called Sex Track, and they were making fun of Star Trek. And I think it was Captain Cock and Lieutenant O'Hara and a whole bunch. And they were trying to conquer this planet that basically shot giant loads at other planets and blew them up. It was weird. Yeah, no fucking shit. Let's move along to the next topic here. Like I said, hopefully, we'll see more about those games at E3. It should be a good show. I suspect we highly will because I know they're highly touted for this year. Let's talk about Apex Legends. We mentioned it at the top of the show. You're playing the hell out of it, so you're obviously loving it. It set a big user record, 50 million users. How about that? Obviously, we're 2 of them. Who else is playing Apex Legends in the chat and who's enjoying it? Go ahead, Primal. How about yourself? What do you think about that milestone? I mean, they're getting congratulations and everything from the Xbox brass. How about that?
It's absolutely amazing, and they deserved it. They did a complete surprise on us. It just popped out of nowhere, and there hasn't been any ridiculous issues like other games do when they launch. EA could learn from them. And then it's just that there has been a couple updates and little baby tweaks here and there, but I love how active they are also with the players. I see them on Twitter constantly asking certain questions and getting certain feedback. Like they're actually working with the players to try and make it the best game that it can be. And it's working. I have had no reason not to play it. There isn't any in like okay, this might be a lie. There isn't really too much in there that drives me nuts. But as with any game, there's pros and cons, but there's more than enough pros for me to want to keep coming back. And it's free.
Yeah.
It's fucking free. Like who
Yeah.
this is absolutely amazing, and I think that it's probably the best battle royale game out right now. PUBG, I think I might just uninstall it. I really don't see myself playing it again. In Fortnite, I tried one match and that shit got uninstalled immediately. And then in the Black Ops one, it's just like PUBG, honestly, just a little bit smoother. So they're doing
Well, I
so
think
good.
Titanfall did itself a favor by basically just coming off of the Titanfall engine, basically, right? I mean, it feels and looks a lot like Titanfall. There's no question about it. So they took a good thing and they just capitalized on a great business opportunity while the iron is hot, so to speak, and getting into the battle royale craze. I mean, I think it's great. Let's give another shout out to the chat because we got some new people rolling up in here. Supersonic Station, what's happening, man? Thanks for having me on your podcast earlier, guys. Give some love to Supersonics. Great dudes, a lot of fun. Has a great podcast with our good buddy J Dubs called Retro Renegades. Dazzy's on there, Jago Kukin, Stinking Corpse. It's always a fun time. Go check it out sometime. It's a lighthearted podcast. Lots of, some gaming stuff, but lots of retro memories and all that good stuff. And he has a really good OBS kind of system going on. He's some great like graphics and shit. It's really cool. Big shout out as well to Middle Age Game Guys. Hit the like button, kids. Share it out. Primal and Noof deserve it. And they're awesome. Well, you know what, Middle Age guy, we think that about you guys. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys showing up. So thank you so much for your support. Evil Resident 7797, Mega Bad Seed. What's happening, everybody? Death Grips, thanks for popping back in. As for me, Apex, I've been playing it. I haven't really played it now, probably in a week and a half, because I've jumped on the Anthem train and a few different things. I know I played with Mooch and Spider-Man not too long ago, and I can almost hear Spider-Man right now. He said, nope, it's boring. Because he sounds something like that. Spider-Man be playing. It's like, yeah, fuck you guys. Sorry, Spider-Man. It's probably a terrible impression of you, but yeah, it's kind of what I'm doing for now. Hey, Invader Gaming's here. What's up, Invader? How you been, man? Long time no see. Dazzy's off to bed. He's gonna have some wet dreams. I think he's gonna rub one out. I think before he closes her down for tonight. But 50 million is nothing. It bodes well for the future for Respawn, because I'm sure a lot of things were doubtful after Titanfall 2 hit, some financial snags in terms of its sales numbers. And the crazy part of it is, Primal, is seeing all of these new people now actually go over and start to play Titanfall. So I think they're actually onto something. Like, they're onto something as in, you can almost salvage another game if it drives interest, if it gets people to play it. It's kind of like Star Wars. Like, the new Star Wars movies got kids to go back and watch the old ones, or go buy the old ones. So it's kind of that scenario with gaming. So hey, whatever keeps the game's ecosystem alive is always good. As far as Apex is concerned, I like it, but I'm not a battle royale fan. I don't think I ever really will be. But I think it's cool. Like you said, it's free. You can't go wrong with free, right? Unless it's herpes. Those you can keep somewhere else. But yeah, so. And it's a game that doesn't break your console, like Silent says in the chat. No, it doesn't. Actually, but then again, mind you, it's one level, minimal characters, not a lot going on if you think about it. So it's not that hard to compare to other games that, to run smoother. But, they did it well. And like I said, it's kind of funny that the game came out underneath the radar. It just kind of cropped out, and all of a sudden, here's this new game for you guys to try, and it runs smooth. Like, what way to do it, right? Skull Stomper, what's up, bro? Skull Stomper in the house. Ron Hale, how you doing? Creeper, what's going on? Hopefully everybody's hearing their shout outs tonight, guys. Every single one of you guys in the chat are important, whether it's 2 or there's 100. Me and Primal love you guys, right, Primal?
Yes, thank you all.
All right.
All get me excited.
Yeah, feel free at any point in the time of the chat too to ask us any wacky ass questions and stuff. We love to have fun with our audience. Primal's game. She'll answer just about anything if she can. I'm sure she'll give you the middle finger, right, Primal?
Anything. Yes, please. Anybody can ask me anything. Wait, what? No, just kidding. Yes, I do. Ask me anything. I'm completely open about everything and anything, and I normally will have an answer for everything too. So
absolutely, she has great witty answers. Back to the Apex thing, though. What do you think about Fortnite already copying their ping system? Does that sort of tell you that Fortnite's on edge? That Fortnite, while they still have a massive grip, I guess, on the battle royale scene, that they are watching the competition and they're a little bit scared that Apex is gaining some massive ground.
Absolutely. They're seeing what works, and they're probably creeping around and hearing what the players are saying. The whole ping system is absolutely fucking amazing. I do play with a lot of randoms sometimes, so it's sorry, I was
I know, when you go over to the chat, it's so easy to get distracted, especially when fucking Dazzy still hasn't gone to bed yet. Oh man.
but yeah, it's I do think they're a little scared. They probably have lose like they lose Jesus. They've lost some players, but I don't think Fortnite's
Yeah.
really ever gonna go away.
No, it's too
You
huge.
know,
It has a large casual market. Plus, it's on everything. You know, it's on everything more than the next door neighbor's mother. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. Um,
yeah.
that was a terrible joke. Ba-dum, dum, as Crap Gamer would do. Chaos Theory asked you good one. What's your favorite JRPG?
My favorite JRPG is Shadow Hearts Covenant on the PlayStation 2. It was a very difficult decision for me to come up with that because I have played so many. As more of the classics ones, anything PS1, PS2, uh, NES, SNES. I've played a lot of JRPGs, but
Hmm.
Shadow Hearts Covenant has won me over mostly.
Sure. Well, good choice. There you go, Chaos. You got your answer on that one. Fortnite steals everything according to Spider-Man. I know we should rename the game to Burglar Night, right? Ron Hale of Titanfall 3. Any news on when Microsoft might have the trade in from physical disc to digital download? Well, that's a great segue into something I didn't have on the topic list, Primal. But have you heard
All about it.
the rumblings about May being a launch month for this new Xbox? What the fuck do you call it? Maverick, the discless Xbox One S, or some people call it the
Yes.
Xbox SAD. Uh, oh man, the acronyms are absolutely hilarious. The Xbox SAD. What did they call it?
Yes.
The Xbox One S. Uh, was it Xbox One X? Digital edition or something like that. What it is, all digital edition. So what I'm thinking, Ron, just to kind of answer your question, I have no idea on that. I wish I could look into the crystal ball and give you an exact date, but something tells me it will be soon. I suspect we'll get an announcement by at least E3, if not before, and then it might go on the curtains of this console. If this discless Xbox comes out, I know you always got to stop yourself when you say that because it sounds like you're going to keep saying dickless.
I just
Uh,
like fuck it.
I know, right? Dickless, the dickless Xbox comes out. Well, they got no games. You might as well have no dicks, right? Ah, man. What was it you said before, Primal? If an Xbox One came with the dick,
Yeah, I'd be set for life. That's the perfect boyfriend for me.
there you go. That's a perfect boyfriend for Primal. So you might want to show up at her house one of these days with a new Xbox One X, strap a dildo to the top of it, and say, well, if you don't like me, you can go fuck yourself, right?
Yes.
um,
Which I do often. But anyway.
There you go. What do you think? You think it's a possibility we hear about it when this new Xbox drops, or do you think maybe that's an announcement they will have for? I mean, it's almost a logical step, and it feels like it's going to happen. And I
Oh
know there's
yeah.
already a lot of people that I've talked to that said they're like ready to get rid of their physical collection and trade them in for the codes, and then have everything digital. I am not, but that I'm not going to even
Mhm.
get into that topic because you guys know me. I'll go on forever. But what do you think?
I think I don't know. They might wait a little while, but even if they did have it come out now, I think a lot of people will get into it, especially people who share Xboxes. That is such a major deal lately, or just people sharing. And at that point, you don't really need anything physical. Um, it does. I don't know. Lately, you've had me thinking lately about not having your physical games with you, and if something did ever happen. Um, but I am for digital games as well. I'm a mix of everything. I think it is something that could actually come sooner than later,
Yeah,
which I like sometimes if it comes sooner
absolutely,
or later, not
absolutely.
until latecomers. Um,
Spit or swallow. A big shout out to the old bastards gamer club, the old stubborn bastards. We got fucking Stu Shot, who's like me. He's old school. He's gonna hang onto those discs for dear life, as well as old good old Jago. Same thing, man. Hello, what's going on, Antonio? Alicia, how you doing tonight, my friend? Shannon Lovely, welcome to the chat. I'm not sure if I gave you a shout out earlier, but thanks for joining us here, everybody. Creeper says he's going against me here. He's got the physical discs, but he's going to trade him in. How dare you, Creeper? How dare you? You've let me down, bro. You've let me down. Xenogears game. What the goat for him? I guess he must be answering the JRPG question. That would be innate. So there you go. Hey, I'm trying to catch up to the chat here.
I am too.
Does the game play better with physical disc? I would say no. I mean, I've never really seen anything. Plus, I mean, basically all the discs are. Everybody should know by now. The disc is basically one thing. The disc does is when it does download content from the disc to your console, it's faster. Okay, that's one thing I've noticed compared to just going straight digital from the store. I've noticed it's faster. But I mean, as far as the quality, it's all the same. It's not because you're not streaming it, right? It's on the hard drive.
Right.
So there's no difference there. You know what I mean? The biggest thing is convenience. I think anybody that goes digital, that has to be the number one. You don't have to get up from the couch. You don't have to look for games. You don't have to worry about getting scratched or getting lost or your kids fucking spitting and shitting on them, all that stuff. So those are the convenience things. But for me, I look after my stuff and I don't mind my 2 or 3 foot little trot from my couch to my my console. It's not like I'm getting up every 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So there's bonuses, there's pluses and there's minuses to that. But like I said, I don't want to get into a fucking situation talking about digital and physical. We've been there and done that, and I'm sure we'll have that conversation again. What are we talking about there, Primal, besides spitting and swallowing?
I don't know. I'm still thinking about swallowing. So
The adoption centers are empty this year. How about the Captain Marvel movie? You think it's going to be a hit? You think it's going to be a miss? Reviews have been mixed, and we also got a lot of people excited for Shazam. Which one would you take and why? And do you think Captain Marvel is going to be good?
I think Captain Marvel is going to be good so far. Marvel has been having pretty decent run with all of their movies.
Mhm.
I'm interested in it because I love how the movies all tie in with each other. I like looking at it as a whole universe and to see eventually what happens with Thanos. It is driving me nuts, and this happens with games too. Before they even are out to the public, they're already getting shitted on,
Mm.
and it's really unfair. And it doesn't really matter to me. I really don't give a fuck about what most people what their quote unquote opinions are because
Yeah.
I don't really know that person that well. I don't know if we have similar taste. If it's a friend, a close friend telling
Mhm.
me something, yeah, of course I'm gonna listen to what they say. But at the end of the day, I need to go and see it myself. I
Right.
do think Captain Marvel will be successful regardless of all the bullshit
Yeah.
that people are saying.
Like I'm a Sylvester Stallone fan, right? I love Stallone. I love his movies. But if my buddy said, "Well, I fucking hate Sylvester Stallone," you think I'm going to ask him about a Sylvester Stallone
Of
review?
course not.
He's gonna be ready to crap on. You think part of it as well got to do like some of the backlash that Captain Marvel's gotten is a little bit due to the whole publicity thing that the lead actor, what's her name,
Agreed.
Brie Larson, has kind of created. Because I know there's a lot of buzz because she's picked specific people for her publicity tours and stuff. Do you think that might be part of it?
Of course, because everybody kisses somebody's ass. And so when she said something about somebody, then she's automatically off the list. And anything that she says is no longer factual, it's stupid, and she loses all types of credibility just because of what she says towards something. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand. It drives me nuts that people do that. Just shut up, shut up and enjoy what it is that all of these people have put so much hard work
Yeah.
into. The entire movie isn't necessarily just her. There's so many other people that have been involved in it. So it's
Right.
really unfair.
Sam Jackson's in it. What more do you need, right? Motherfucking
Oh
snakes
man,
on this motherfucking train.
I know I can't.
On the
I
plane, sorry, snakes on the plane. Get the motherfucking snakes on the motherfucking
no,
plane.
absolutely. He's everywhere, and
I know,
I love.
man.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to watch Glass too. I've been really, really waiting to see that one.
He had a really good movie a few years ago too. People do the memes all the time on it. The one with Christina Ricci. What the fuck? It was like a dude in a bio or whatever, and she's like this little tramp. I forget the fuck name it was, but it was a good movie. He's had a lot of variety of stuff. Hasn't he, Sam Jackson? But that's going off the deep end. Another. Me personally, I'm excited for Captain Marvel, and to be honest, I'm excited more for Captain Marvel than Shazam, and I'll tell you why. It's not that I want to see Shazam as well, but I'm just not a Shazam fan. And to be
Mm,
honest with you, I'm just not cooked on Zachary Levi. To me, like to be honest with you, in my personal opinion, I'll take
mm.
Ben Affleck as Batman over Zachary Levi as Shazam. But that's just me. Some of these comedian types I just can't take seriously. And Nate's
I
proposing to
know.
somebody in the chat. It's either that or he's got a diamond lace cock ring. But Oh man, he wants to marry already apparently. But yeah, I'm more excited about Captain Marvel. I could give a shit about the reviews. I'm gonna go spend my money on it and base my own opinion on my own brains. Right, that's how it works. Hopefully, the rest of you guys in the chat do the same. Just go with your heart, go with your gut. Listen to the people that you enjoy the most or that you trust the most. People that have visions and reviews or critiques that are more in line with what you like, because that's the way I know. Because look, how many people probably passed on a game like Crackdown or even Anthem because of negativity with reviews. And both games are fun, and I think both games are solid. They're not perfect, but they're solid. And like I said, don't deny yourself a great experience because of fanboyism or because some douchehad at IGN or something's like, you get it, you got it, right? Like, fuck those guys. They don't know what they're talking about half the time anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh man, you just reminded me of something. There's definitely I am guilty of looking at something and deciding against it, and it was with Lollipop Chainsaw. When that
Mm-hmm.
originally came out, I was like, "Oh my god, this is a game made for guys to fucking go jerk off to. It's probably horrible. It's all about this girl, blah blah blah." And I played it, and this is one of my favorite games ever. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely love that game. And yes, I was one of those people that discovered the achievement by looking up her skirt for 5 minutes. I was trying to figure out what was on her underwear. I swear, but yeah, you never really know until you play the game yourself.
Mm. That's a great segue into a question I got for you. Who is the hottest video game character? I don't know if I've asked you this one before, but who's your hottest video game character? If you could pick one, if you could pick one who you'd like to take home and roll with, who would it be? I think you told. I think we had this before, but
Yeah,
I'm.
this is kind of like the Valentine's Day thing. Um, I would have to say I'm absolutely in love with friggin' Mad Moxie. I don't know what it is about her. She's just so badass. I just want to like, I don't know. I am a straight person, but there are certain females that I would totally like tongue punch their box. Like I don't know for some reason. I
You
just
heard it right there, folks. New one for the night. Tongue punch their box. Woo.
I don't know something about Moxie just like gets me going. I absolutely love her.
Gotcha.
What about
And for me, I'm gonna
you?
keep it real quick. Me, real quick. I could easily say Lara Croft, but honestly, the one that I think is the hottest chick. Yes, I'm gonna have to go with Shizno. 2B. There's something about that white-haired, blindfolded chick in that fucking outfit that just rocks. Every time I see cosplayers wearing it, I'm just like, there's something about. I don't know. There's something very sexy about that outfit and that game, and how she has this badass sword and she beats up these big ass monsters. I don't know. It's really cool. But that would be my pick. Creeper says Harley Quinn. Chaos says Riku. Final Fantasy X2. There you go. We got some people with some stuff and good choices in the chat. Harley Quinn. Yeah, that'd be a good one too. She may beat you with her baseball bat. All right, I didn't want to get off topic there, but just couldn't help it. We had to reiterate that. Silent Wyvern, Makoto not. Hopefully, I pronounce this right. Makoto Nanaya. I hope that's it. Me and Shizno on the same page tonight. That's good. At least I got somebody got my back up in here. All right, let's move on to the next topic, shall we? Because we keep rolling, right? 8:44 already, man. The time fucking flies in here. What the hell?
Yeah.
So Game of Thrones season 8 trailer came out. Who had a chance to watch it? Who's a Game of Thrones fan? I'm a huge fan of the show, but I have to admit, I never even saw it because I didn't have HBO and I didn't have and I don't download or pirate streams and shit. So I never bought it, never got into it till like season 4. My buddies at work kept saying, "You gotta watch this Game of Thrones, Noof. You gotta watch this Game of Thrones." So I finally go and watch it. I couldn't pull myself from it. I binge watched the whole fucking thing. It was amazing. Love Peter Dinklage. That character, something about that little guy. I think he rocks. For you with Game of Thrones, you're a fan, Primal. What was your favorite season so far? Maybe a moment that stood out to you.
Oh fuck. Well, okay, for me, because I've read the books. I'm that person, and I already knew what was going to happen, but just I don't know. I really it's really hard.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for this. You didn't prepare me for this.
Well, I did bring it up, but I was just talking about season 8 trailer. I know that's all right. We can come back to it, but
Well, no, I just I love when people die. I don't know. I'm kind of fucked up like that. Like the whole the red wedding was really interesting. I liked that. Where
yes.
poor Mama Stark got it in the neck at the end, and then it ended, and I was like, fuck. And then just I don't know, seeing Cersei be
Mm,
fucking it's kind of sexy,
yeah, she's boss,
and
isn't she? Like there's something about her. She's evil, but
the
does it in a great way.
the whole scene towards the end of the last season where they blew up the entire like cathedral or
Mhm.
whatever building that was, and her son committed suicide and jumped out the window, and she's just like sipping her wine having a good time. Like I don't know, there was just something really sexy about that. It wasn't
Right,
sexy when she got shamed, the whole shame
right.
shame, but
Kudos to the actor for going through a scene like that, like walking down a whole thing in front of all those stand-ins naked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how crazy is that, right?
oh, it wasn't even her.
Oh, it wasn't
That's
her?
not her body.
Oh, I thought it was. I didn't know anything about it. I mean, she could
Yeah.
have pulled it off. Because I've seen her in other movies and it looked kind of legit. But okay.
Yeah, she had a different body because she's completely tattooed as well, so it was very difficult to cover up her tattoos.
Okay.
They already do that for a lot of the sex scenes, and
Hmm.
then I don't know, there was something I watched some documentary shit on
Oh, okay.
it. Yeah, Game of Thrones. I'm really excited. This is the final season, so we actually get to see the real battle for the
Yeah.
throne. I really want to keep watching John dick down Danny. I know it's incest shit. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for this moment. So
Yeah.
I don't know. And Arya, she's probably my favorite character. I love to see her develop from just this little girl into this badass bitch who I absolutely terrifies me. So I really want to see her become successful. And I don't know. I have a love for everybody, really.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think my favorite character is probably Peter Dinklage as what's his name? Sorry,
Yeah.
what's his name?
It's
What
oh
the
my
fuck is his
god.
name?
I just lost it.
Somebody in the chat. What's the name of
Tyrion?
the character?
Tyrion?
Tyrion. Yes, Tyrion. And it's just because he's so like he's like similar to Cersei. He's very conniving, very cunning. He goes about things. He's always seems like he's got an ulterior motive, but at the same time, he's also like when he gets sort of pushed the limits, he rises to the occasion and he does stuff in a different way. He's not the big sword swinging guy, you know what I mean? But he does it, and he's just interesting. He's got this way he captures scenes is really cool. There's a lot of cool characters. I mean, I love Sean Bean, in the season one. It's too bad his character met a quick demise, as he does on almost every movie he guys in.
Yeah,
He
he
dies.
was meant to die.
So Sean Bean's a cool character. I mean, obviously, as Cersei, I love the actress who plays her as well. There's just a lot of great cast. I mean, even the great special effects on the White Walkers is a show stealer in itself. They just look so mysterious and spooky, and I'd hate to meet one of those in the woods. You know what I mean? They're dead horses and shit, and those dragons are cool. I mean, there's so much really cool and weird stuff with Game of Thrones. It's mesmerizing. My favorite scene, I will say, at this point in time, obviously, was when Ramsey Bolton died. Sorry if I'm spoiling it for people, but if you haven't fucking seen the series by
At this
now, you're way
point in
behind the times.
time.
Okay, it's not a spoiler when it's 4 or 5 years old. But when Ramsey Bolton died, that was good because that guy was the most
He
fucking dirty
deserved
little weasel I've ever seen, and I
it.
couldn't. And all the shit, as bad as Theon might have been, the shit he did to Theon was terrible. And I was so happy to see when he fucking met his demise. I was like cheering, it was like, yeah, fucking asshole. And the way
Right.
he died too was like it was almost like a I don't know, it was just crazy. And I also love that part when the human what do you call it? The mountain, the big guard.
No,
When it,
don't tell me. Is
when
it when he crushed the dude's
Oh
finger?
yeah, in the fucking
Oh
alley, he just picks him up by the head and slams him into the wall. I was like, that was awesome. That was fucking awesome.
um,
It's great. And I don't know if you've seen the latest word, but there was an article out today that apparently one of the episodes in Game of Thrones season 8, the battle scene is the whole episode. That's insane.
really? Oh, that's exciting.
They
That's
said the
really
whole. That's
exciting.
I'm guessing that's probably like one of the last episodes. But they said the battle scene is actually the whole episode. Well, that's unprecedented. That
Yeah.
tells you the scale of what they're going for, because to me, when I think of scale, I think of something like Braveheart, you know what I mean, with crazy ass stuff. That's just
Right.
insane, unbelievable.
Oh, I'm so
Um, so yeah, we're excited, guys. April 14th, I think it is. If you're curious about the release date in the next season, trailer is out for the show right now. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. Every episode is like almost 90 minutes long, I think. So it's basically like watching 6 movies. That's really cool, minus the commercials, mind you, but still fantastic. Yeah, expensive. One of the most expensive TV series in history.
Mhm.
Crazy Greek dude. I loved it when Arya killed what's his face and did the blood. Yes, that was another incredible scene. That's what I'm saying. Like this show has so many scenes. I mean, even going back to series one, when Daenerys first found the dragons and she burned and then she didn't burn and she came out. You know what I mean? And Khal Drogo, he was cool and
Oh no,
yeah,
Khal Drogo.
man,
Yes, he is my favorite character. I want to be Khal Drogo'd. I want Khal Drogo, and I
yeah.
wish there was a way that he didn't go the way that he did.
Aquaman before he found the water. I bet you would like to be Khal Drogo. Yeah, I bet you'd like to have him pull your hair.
Yes, yes. I'm sure John is all sweet and gentle. I'm sure he's great and stuff like that. But Khal Drogo fucked her. Like that is like, oh, he's so hot. So
Hey, Graphic Gun, what's happening, bro? Thanks for stopping by and checking things out. What's going on, Philly Eagle? Appreciate you being here. What? Ross Bow while on the shitter with the best kill. The bow. Okay, the crossbow while on the shitter. Yes, the old his father wasn't his father was on the shitter, and he's like, "You really going to killing me in here?" So yeah, that was. I mean, come on, right? Like, how many of these fucking shows have these great scenes that they just stick with you for like forever? You know what I mean? Like for me, like I love The Walking Dead, but I can't fucking remember the last time I had an episode that I kind of went, wow. Outside of maybe Rick's death episode, but that's just in the magnitude of it. But well, I guess he's not dead, but you know what I mean. But
he said he's not dead. Yeah, it's weird.
yeah. Apparently, they're supposed to bring Rick Grimes back for a series of movies and shit, right? So that's kind of cool. So we'll see where that goes. That's what I think they need now for Walking Dead. Is they need a very focused movie that has more action, unless it is fucking nig nagging. Because that's what I found. Like the show has turned into like a family feud show with fucking zombies in the background. First it was like a survival show, but it seems like the last couple seasons it's just these guys are over in the hilltop. These guys are over here. Let's go over there, raid these guys. Let's go back here, raid these guys. Negan's a prick. Nobody can kill him. Even when Rick's had about 500,000 chances to shoot the motherfucker, he still never did. It's like, come on, man, this shit could have been long over and you could have moved on already. But anyway. Oh man. Okay, let's get into the next topic. Game of Thrones is going to be lit. There's no question about it. Looks like the chat is fucking stoked, so I'm super excited for that. I'm going to skip the next topic because I don't really think anybody here really wants to hear about Pokemon Sword and Shield impressions. I didn't get to watch too much of it. Looks like more Pokemon, which is good if you're a Pokemon fan. Let's talk about games with Gold though versus PlayStation Plus. Who do you think had the better lineup this month, Primal? Anything you're ready to download?
See, for both, I have both. Like, I have games for each one. Like the Witness for I think it was on PlayStation Plus. Yeah, that was already on Games with Gold. And then also, what is that? I'm having a complete brain fart. Plants vs Zombies 2. I got that when it released because somebody convinced me to get it, and I said I was going to get it for my daughter, but it was really me. I don't know. So far, there really hasn't been anything. I don't know. Game kind of for me
Yeah.
for both sides. Actually, there really isn't anything. It was a Call of Duty for the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. Well,
So
the PlayStation Plus lineup is two big swingers. I mean, you got Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. If you don't own that already, there you go. It's a good game. I mean, obviously, great campaign. It's one of the all-time great campaigns as far as Call of Duty games go. It's a very memorable game, great multiplayer.
mhm.
It's a decent pickup. I mean, because to go in and buy it at the shop, I think it's still 30 or 40 bucks. And what's the other one? The Witness. If you like puzzle games and stuff, I hear that's really good. It's not my cup of tea, right, Spider-Man? I think I'll pass on that one. I might die of brain freeze. But decent effort for PlayStation Plus. And games at Gold, you've got, what do we got right now? We got Star Wars, the Republic Commando, which is really cool. It's cool that they're going back to the old OG Xbox with a great Star Wars game.
Star Wars every single.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, I wonder if
Yeah,
they're
a
not.
lot of Star Wars stuff, right? Which will
Um,
segue into my next topic after this. But Yeah, what's the other games they have? There's a couple of
Uh,
good 360 ones on
there's
there.
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time Chaos Series says that's good. I've seen people playing that on my timeline, which actually looks kind of weird. I'm familiar with the show, basically barely, but it does
Yeah.
look like it could be a ton of fun.
And then there's also there's Metal Gear Rising as well.
Yeah, that's the one. Yes, Jago says that game is fucking badass. I've heard a lot of good things about Metal Gear Rising, and there's another one. Oh yes, Garden Warfare, right? That actually is good. I never did play that one, so I'm actually in for a treat this month because one, I never owned Garden Warfare, I never owned Metal Gear Rising, I never owned Adventure Time, and I never owned the Bomberman one that's still there, but you can get from last month. So these games actually, like all of them, are definitely worth playing for me. And I think that a lot of people, Primal, I don't know if you agree too, but a lot of people forget. You know what? We were paying for these services anyway. So like to
Mm-hmm.
get these games as a bonus, they're not going to please everybody every single month, right?
Of
Because
course.
what, as I said, what's one man's trash is another man's treasure. One month you might be like, my God, these games are phenomenal, and somebody else is going, they're crap, and I played them months ago. But the thing is, you're going to pay for the live anyway. So getting anything free, if you were to go out and buy the games, they're going to set you back 60, 80, $100, maybe more if you were just to buy them. So
Right.
just be happy to give us anything is the way I look at it. You're going to get good months, you're going to get bad months. And as I've said before, and I'll reiterate again, and I called this way back when, you can go back and watch Kraft's video. I said, as soon as Game Pass was talked about in launch, I said this on a podcast. I said, watch the quality of Xbox One games with gold will start to take a dip. And I was right. It basically did. And why? Because they want to put their best shit in games at gold. They're not going to give you all the best games for free if they're going to charge you fucking $10 a month. Or it's common sense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They want to make money somehow. But yeah, no,
And it does.
I still download all the games. They're free. I'll take anything free. If you guys have something free, I will take it. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean yes or anything like that, but I will take anything free.
And Philly Eagle in the chat, like he says it perfectly. Like it has fantastic variety, and it's almost like every month they don't just give you like, well, here's four of the popular shooters. At least I give them props that they mix it up. They have, like you said, you got a family game in there. You've had sort of a puzzle family game with Bomberman last month. You got Metal Gear Rising, a third-person action adventure, Republic Commando, great Star Wars first person. Like I said, they're really catering to a lot of different bases that are on the Xbox. It's not just to the hardcore guy that likes the Call of Duty and the fucking Witcher games. You know what I mean? So good on them, right? Just loosen up and stop giving them so much flack for just at least trying, right? Kudos to them.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, that's right. You don't download them, maybe you already own them, well, it's fine. You already own them, you already played them, you already got your enjoyment. For those people who haven't played them, well, guess what? They're going to get tons and tons of enjoyment. I'm sure there's probably thousands, if not millions of kids already fucking balls deep into Adventure Time and whatever the fuck that game is.
I don't know. I might just check it out. So
Well, you can say they are free. They're part of the service. It's not technically true because we were always paying full price for the service before the
right.
game. That,
Well,
like, we were, when we had 360, we got shit. There was nothing for years. We paid full price and got nothing extra. We just paid for being online. Now they basically charge us the same price. They add the extra value because if they had to charge you for the games, even if they increased it, it'd be a lot
right.
more than the 60 or 50 or $60 we're paying per month. So technically, yes, you have to pay to get them, but technically they're still free because they're not charging you extra above and beyond. So you know what I
Right.
mean?
Like Adventure Time is $40. That's
Yeah.
$40 I have to spend. So they're free, but they're not free. I probably should have chose my wording a little bit differently,
Mhm.
but it's extra money that I wouldn't have to
Yeah.
spend other.
Amen to that. Good call. Primal, what do you think? Do you think this, because I've talked about this before and it's kind of been brought up in various places. Do you think we're going to see Microsoft real soon do a bundle of Xbox Live and Game Pass in one bundle where everybody gets the whole package, but they get it maybe at a better price even? Because I think that would be outstanding, and I would
Yeah.
not be surprised if we don't see something like that at E3.
Yes, absolutely. That would be a very intelligent move, especially when it comes towards holiday time when people are buying their gifts for everybody. They could sell a shit ton of these memberships.
Oh,
Um, I think it would be great.
hold
Maybe
up. That was the best typo ever. C Script's like, my 100-year-old is obsessed with OG Star Wars Xbox. I'm like, Jesus, did you give birth to Yoda or what? And then he corrected himself to 10-year-old. Good one, C Script. That made me laugh. I had to fucking pause when I read it. I was like, what the fuck? Great stuff. Oh man, go ahead, Primal. Go ahead.
uh
I was just trying to read a 100-year-old and Jesus Christ, you give fucking birth to Yoda or what? What the fuck is going on over there? How old are you, C-Script, right? Oh fuck, man. That's hilarious. Great laugh, man. Thanks for that. Sometimes typos are the best. Sometimes they just make you want to forget your life, right? But
I think
oh
you
man.
forget what the fuck you're talking about. That's for sure. I have no idea. I'm just thinking about a Yoda coming out.
Yeah.
That's all.
Now you got PlayStation. Are you a PlayStation Plus member, or did you subscribe to that? I'm guessing
Ha-
probably no.
I share
Oh, okay.
on the PlayStation as well, and that person does have Plus, so I do get those benefits. I check the
Oh,
games out
friends
here
with
and
benefits.
there. Yeah. Um, but like the games for me on the PlayStation, I'm gonna stick more towards. I won't do any multiplayer games. I don't have really a lot of friends on there. I do a lot of just strictly single player JRPG games on the PlayStation. All my multiplayer shit and stuff is on the Xbox. So Call of Duty doesn't interest me. And then The Witness was already a free sorry, not free, a game with gold on the Xbox. So I won't be getting either of those games.
Yeah. Creeper says he just turned 39. So my question for him was, when you jerk off at 139, do you pick it up with a Swiffer duster? Oh man. Ah, fuck. Oh man, great stuff. A great conversation, guys. Great chat. I think either which way, if you have Xbox Live, you have PlayStation Plus, you are a winner. You get some great fucking games. Something for everybody, except for that fucking Witness one. I will not even attempt that because that's puzzles. As Spider-Man already said, you want to watch Noof have an online freak out, throw some puzzle games at him. It'll drive him nuts. I can handle the Tomb Raider shit, but after that. And speaking of Star Wars, Prime, we're going to segue into probably like our last two topics of the night. I just read an article. Amy Hennig said big reason that her Star Wars game that she was working on was big reason EA kiboshed it was because basically it didn't have enough of the games as a service mantra throughout. Basically, it was a single player narrative, and they just didn't like what they saw. It wasn't enough ways to make money on microtransactions, and I guess it got kiboshed. Do you think there's much truth to that? And what do you think games as a service are eventually really going? I wouldn't say kill the single player games, but they're definitely going to make a dent into how many I think we see.
Absolutely. You were going to get a lot more customers,
Fortnite.
players, and stuff. Yeah, when it comes to multiplayer games, yeah, you're going to get a lot because if I'm playing something and somebody else wants to play with me, and then that person has somebody who wants to play with them, and blah blah blah. That's a lot more sales. The single player games are geared more towards certain audiences, so only certain people are going to be interested in those games. I absolutely love single player games. It's where I started. It's where I probably will finish. it's I don't think it's anything that's going to die or be killed off, but it is definitely a lot harder to sell that game to somebody versus a
Mm-hmm.
player game. It is a shame, it is sad, but that's just what it's become now, especially with this newer gamer generation, which I'm not a fan of. Um, they are more likely to play something if they can play with their friends.
Yeah, Philly in the chat says we'll have to rely on self-published series to give us a lot of the single-player games. And you know what? He might be onto something. He might be right here that a lot of the single-player games we'll see less and less coming from the big AAAs, and we'll see a lot more coming from the indie studios who can afford to make those little tweaks. You can take the gambles without the 5-year and $100 million investment sort of thing. So you might be onto something. But hey, we've seen what Ninja Theory can do with a limited staff, a lot of talent, and great effort, and they can come up with something like Hellblade. So let that be a lesson to all the devs out there that if you're passionate about your work, you've got great talent around you. I think as long as you keep your staff happy and you stick to a great timeline, you got a perfectly laid out plan for your game and where it needs to go, and you don't try to make your game something that it isn't, then you go, because I keep saying, and I'll say it again, I loved Hellblade because Hellblade didn't try to be other games. It was a story-based, action-based narrative. There was no bullshit. There was no RPG. It wasn't trying to copy this game and this game and this game just for clicks and hits and 5,000 not a fucking microtransaction in that game. So I keep saying to people, and I might be the old fucking fossil, but I like that. I was actually one of the biggest reasons, not being because it was a solid game, but the fact that they didn't bullshit with anything. There was none of this leveling up your fucking weapon. It was just you played, you followed the story, you figured out the puzzles, you just had a good fucking time, and there was none of this crap. And I love it.
Exactly.
And please bring out more stuff like Hellblade. We don't see enough of it. That was how it was back in the 16-bit days. That was how it was in the early days of 360 and PS3. But now every goddamn game is trying to be a Borderlands. Everything's trying to be a Fortnite. Everything's trying to be, you know what I mean? Like nobody has originality. It's just here's a
It's
game, and we just
like
copy every other fucking thing that hits a nerve.
it's really getting old, and I notice with myself is I'm actually going backwards. I'm playing the older games that I used to play, like with Tales. I've gone back to the original Final Fantasies 1 through 10. I'm so thankful for Square for actually, having a brain and
Mm-hmm.
putting them on the Xbox, because then it opens up a lot more doors. But I just with the newer games, I feel like I'm not getting the same attachment as I have with the older games, and I'm going backwards instead of forwards.
Yeah.
Hellblade was definitely really refreshing. It was so refreshing. It felt so good. It was an experience I never had before. So it's making me crave more games like that instead of these copy and paste. Okay, that's fantastic that that game did so successful. But let's make
Should
something
have been a
new.
lot more successful. So it on fucking Switch or PlayStation and Xbox, and that should be an easy. That game should have sold 10 million copies. How the fuck it's still at like I don't know, a million and a half or whatever the fuck it's at is a crying fucking shame.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this E3, especially with Microsoft and all the new the studios that they've acquired, because I'm really hoping for some new IPs, some new anything. Gaming needs a nice refresher, maybe even just like a restart.
Mm-hmm.
I I want to get excited again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, it's getting difficult to excite me.
Absolutely.
I don't know what
Well,
to
just to
do.
remind everybody, Hellblade is on Game Pass right now. So if you haven't fucking played it yet, go do yourself a favor, check that game out because it is definitely worth the price of admission alone. And second of all, if you haven't heard the news, apparently Microsoft has loosened the chains on the publishing for this game, and it will be coming out for the Nintendo Switch, apparently, which I'm quite interested to see how this translates to the weaker console. I'm sure they'll do a fantastic job. Might be a bit blurrier. But you know what? Honestly, I love the game so much I might even buy it a third time. I double dipped too. Death Grips. I bought it for PlayStation, beat it. Then when it came out on Xbox, I beat it. Just a phenomenal game. I can't say enough good stuff about it. One of my best games from that year. Definitely encourage people to at least give it a try. Yes, there is some puzzly stuff in there, not crazy stuff, but some of it. There's one in particular early in the game that's like visual marker puzzles, like shit hanging from trees, and you have to look at it in a certain type of way. So that one can be tricky. So you got, but yeah, if you stick with it, you'll figure it out, and it's a lot of fun. Jago, take care, man. Have a great night. Appreciate you stopping by. Greatly appreciated. Yeah. So there you go, guys. What were we talking? Oh, Amy Hennig. Well, Primal. How about you? Yeah. In terms of a Star Wars game, obviously that game got kiboshed. And but what would you? Are you a Star Wars fan? And if so, what type of a Star Wars game would you like to see come out?
I am a Star Wars fan. Uh, I would like to see. I don't know, the Star Wars. I don't know. As far as multiplayer games go, I kind of been turned off by what's been out recently. So I would really like to see something more single player. I really liked shit. Why can't I think of the name of the game? Where you're a Jedi. That's what
You're talking about the Force Unleashed? Maybe that one.
Yes, 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 yes. I would like something like that, or even something like KOTOR. I would
Mm-hmm.
really like to have Knights of the Republic. But as far as just kind of like going into battle and just shooting each other and whatever, I'm over that. I want something with more depth. I want to hear a storyline that we haven't heard yet from the movies or even from any of the TV shows like the Clone
Right.
Wars or and any of the books. I would like a nice, solid single player game.
Mm-hmm. Personally, you know what? To be honest with you, I would like to see a game much like Rogue Squadron. A little more space battles. I love that part of the Star Wars universe. Rogue Squadron, I think, is still one of the standards. Maybe I have to go back and play it and think differently, but I know the Rogue Squadron games, when they came out on N64, they set a massive precedent for me with Star Wars games. And I'd like to see something like that's a little more serious in tone. I would love to see a Star Wars game that maybe follows the adventures of, say, a Luke Skywalker, tell some stories that maybe we haven't seen. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like the stuff in between, it doesn't always have to have a Darth Vader and stuff, but there obviously has to be stories to be told about these characters that happen in and around the movie cycle that could
Mhm.
be very, very good stories. Obviously, the Force Unleashed apparently is sort of tied into, that's Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi phase, and they're tied in. Darth Vader's in the series, and those were phenomenal too. We definitely need to see more stuff along that lines than just this Battlefront that we've got. Which, as far as shooters go, I don't think Battlefront's that bad. But I mean, like people have said, EA has brought out 2 Star Wars games since they acquired the license years ago, and they've both been Battlefront, and neither one of them have actually been like, they haven't set the world on fire. They've been decent, but they've done a lot wrong with the series, those sorts of things. So hopefully, EA can get this ship back on track. But they got to start thinking about Star Wars fans first and not the love of microtransactions. The way I look at it, Star Wars is a license to print money. You don't need microtransactions to constantly make the money. Just please your fans. They will buy your game and they'll buy the DLC and they'll buy extra shit, but you don't have to leech them. That's the thing. Star Wars fans are ready to spend their money. Just don't take them for granted and take advantage of them, and you will do just fine.
Exactly, and that's what they did with having to pretty much buy your way into playing a character, and even a main character. Like you couldn't even play as them; you had to buy them extra. I am not a fan of I don't know
Yeah. Later, Shizno. Have a great night, bro.
microtransactions at all. Period. I don't
Yeah.
like having. I think it's cool if they had maybe in-game loot boxes that you didn't have to purchase. Like if you still got a chance, that would be a way for you to actually play even more, so that you can gain those boxes, not
Yeah.
over somebody who's going to spend $300 to get something that they didn't work for. I don't know. The whole thing is just
Yeah. I like what's like Silent Wyvern. It's a AAA industry. If they can't make all the money, it's just not good enough. And I think he's right. It's just like, they need to go back to catering to the fans and not constantly looking for how many ways can we make a buck, because they're going to make their money. Right? That's not a question. It's Star Wars. As I said, it's a license to print money. And then Nate says, like, EA got used to the suckers in Madden and FIFA who buy the same exact fucking game every year. And on top of that, they keep buying those hot fucking cards, which basically do literally next to nothing. To me, I think the EA sports games of all the games on this market are the biggest waste of fucking money. You heard it from me, and that's my honest opinion. And I stopped buying. I don't even buy them every year now. It's like, what's the point? I'm going to play NHL or FIFA. It's the same game it was last year, the same graphics. Oh, the upgrade one. Can you believe that they had the audacity to charge us $80 for the exact same fucking game year after year, when essentially any other game would be slammed? So just say if that was any other game, it was Gears of War, but all of a sudden it was Gears of War. We added one extra game mode and we changed a face on somebody. And we added a way to use micro, but we're going to charge you $80 for it again. Okay, like stop looking at it from a sports. You got to stop being the fan here and just look at it from a games perspective. These guys are leeching you every year for the same shit. Like they don't overhaul the engine. They don't do anything really new. I'm not knocking the games. The games are great. They're great sports games, but you need to buy one every bloody year. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like at least Call of Duty, and they make a game every year, but it's not Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, 3, 4, and it's the same exact game, same weapons, same level layout. But we added 2 different things. We added an extra map, mind you. Activision's almost as bad, because how many times have we seen that level? What do you call it? What's that little Nuketown? How many times are they going to charge people for Nuke? That map, if you're going to keep making it over and again, stop charging people for it. People have bought that 20 times already. Ugh. Anyway, going on a tangent here, but fucking EA. You know what? All you got to do, honestly, is make one Madden game, make it fucking incredible, and then all they need to do is updates every year. Maybe you pay $5, you get the new roster, and you get a couple updates. Person buys one game, they're satisfied. Do the roster, change, add the team, do the stadium, whatever it has to be, and you just pay the incremental like payments as you go along, right? But no, that's not good enough for EA because they're not happy until they've leached every motherfucker on the earth from every damn dollar they can, and they're
Exactly.
laughing at you for it. But
No,
anyway,
I did do it before a long time ago in Mass Effect 2 with their multiplayer. Wait, was it 2 or 3? It was,
yeah.
I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I would spend 120 points
Mm-hmm.
back when it was the point system because 120 points didn't sound like a lot, but thinking about it, I probably spent probably more than what I should have just to have different colors or powers or anything for my character. And thinking about it now, that was really stupid. That was absolutely
Yeah.
stupid.
And what Nate says in the chat, this is why this shit doesn't go away problem. You can read out his quote there, what he says, and this is exactly why this problem doesn't go away. Just read it. It's innate. Do you see it?
Yeah,
Primal?
yeah, I do. I was sorry, I was reading it.
Okay. So there was a person who works in the UK, couldn't believe the conversation grade schoolers were having, bragging about who spent the most money in Ultimate Team in excess of $500. And we've heard the horror stories about kids getting hold of credit cards and going nuts on that shit. It's like collecting, actual cards, but they're digital cards. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, I'll brag about my collection. It's just weird. But until that shit simmers down or people stop doing that, it's not going away.
No, and it won't, and it's a shame because not only just like them having credit cards, but they get daddy and mommy's money, all that shit, and they blow it on this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do brag, and it's a shame, and it's really obnoxious.
Mm,
You're right, it's not going to go away.
yeah. You're getting really distant. Did you like step away or something? You go to the washroom or?
I needed to find my drink.
I was like,
Really,
man, you're like getting really distant. All right, we're gonna get into the enough of that though. Hopefully, some great Star Wars games do come out soon, and let's hope that the games as a service mantra does not kill every good intention out there. So many great people out there wanting to make fantastic games, but then they have the corporate suits come in and say, "Well, we like your idea, but you gotta add this, this, and this to the game, and if you don't do it, you guys can hit the fucking highway." Okay, that's pretty much the way it is. Um, you know, let's get into our last one. This one's going to be a fun one, everybody. I hope you can participate. I think this is going to be relevant to a lot of you people who have had girlfriends or are married, et cetera, et cetera. Prom, are you ready for this one?
yes.
All right. Do you want to take the initiative? Do you want to read the
You
actual
go
thing?
ahead.
Okay.
Probably.
So my last one for tonight, guys, and this is a fun one. It's called dating and farting. And when is it acceptable? We've all heard that thing. We've heard your girlfriend say, well, yeah, when I met you, you never farted. But now that we're together for so long, you're always farting. You never stop. So, Primal, what's your take on that? When is farting acceptable? Do you break wind at all? Do you give a shit? Do you do it in public? Do you care about the relationship? Have you ever done it on a first date? All that good stuff.
I am a private farter when it comes to being in public. If I'm dating somebody and we've been together for, I don't know, a year or so, I think it's okay to let one out, but you need to be like gracious about it, at least like apologize. I'm not just gonna rip one and go like, oh, you smell that? Like, no, it's not gonna happen. And then the only fart that just happens and you can't really apologize because it happens is, guys, if you're fucking a chick from behind or something like that and she queefs, it's not, we have no control of that. It just happens. It's, part of the whole activity. No, I think if you're able to fart with your significant other, it means it's a whole level of being comfortable with that person too. But don't be like disgusting about it unless you're trying to be kind of funny.
Hey,
But
Angel Flores, what's happening? In bed with the bed sheet pulled over your partner. Yes, that's a famous one. Hey, you got to smell this motherfucker. Oh man, great! I knew this topic would get funny. Yeah, the old queefs. Yeah, that happened. Or you pull out the old dickaroony after a while. She's good and sloppy down there, and you hear the.
and you can't stop it. You can't like squeeze it tight enough to hold it in or anything because you
All
already
right.
gave it out. So it's like, I don't know. It's you can't be mad at that
Ah, you know who's the funniest, to be honest with you? It's when fucking dogs fart. Because not only do they normally have the stinkiest ass farts, but they always look at you and they know they're fucking guilty. You ever see the dogs? They give you that sly eye and it's like, you farted, didn't you, little fucker? And they're just like, "Eh." You know, if the dog could talk, it'd be like, yeah. You know what I mean? You guys, anybody get a dog and your dog just fucking reeks? You know what I mean? I don't have a dog, but I've been around enough. You go to the house, she's like, God damn it, there, Skippy. You just
Awful.
fucking ate some peanut butter and fucking I know farts are funny, right, Creeper? Like I don't care who you are. Like you can be, especially the more serious the situation sometimes, than somebody that's go a big ripper. You just like you can't help it. You just light up and laugh, right?
Oh yeah, they
Oh,
are funny, but don't be gross.
well, yeah. Well, couple of my stories are, I can't remember when I farted around my wife. I don't think it was right away, but one instance, obviously, when I got comfortable with her, was one night she's asleep, and I rolled right up. I knew I had this big fart coming, and I rolled right up next to her, and I put my like ass right on her back, and I fucking farted really hard, and she fucking jumped, and she woke up, and she's like, "What the fuck was that? What the fuck is that?" And then I was just keeling over laughing just because her reaction was just hilarious. And there was another time, it was really great. I can't forget it. I'm walking through Walmart, right? And I love the drifter fart, right? So I'm walking through Walmart and I go down this aisle and I had to let one go. And it was just one of those silent motherfuckers that really rank. And I farted and I was like, oh my God, it smells like the sewage just busted in here. And I walked to the end of this aisle and then there's this old lady who goes down through and you could see her eyes almost water. And she's just like, what the and I could hear her murmur. She's like, "Oh, what is that smell? It's gross." And I'm at the back of the aisle, man. And I tell you, I'm in tears. I'm just like, "Oh my God, that was priceless." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Protein, that's the fart starter. That's why the beans are associated, right? Beans means good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart.
Yep.
How about you, Prama? Any situation where you've ever farted and felt embarrassed, like at a movie theater or anything like that? You know, one of those accidental. Sometimes the accidental one goes right. Boardroom meeting. Oh, sorry. Or you
No.
think you're gonna, or you think sometimes the ones,
I
those
honestly
ones where you try to squeak out the squeak one out. You know what I mean?
oh,
And
like
and then all of a sudden it comes out a lot louder. If you have kids, blame it on them. I know. Who
oh
said
no,
that my friend's dog will fart
I'm
and then look at his butt like he's confused?
creeper. I am guilty. I
uh,
have had silent ones, and I would blame it on my kid.
Later on, Hale, take care, man.
But no, I don't think I've been around more people that fart. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I said, I'm a private farter. If I feel like I have to like do it, I'll run somewhere in a corner.
There's a time and a place, but sometimes they're just absolutely hilarious. You know, an awkward dinner table discussion that you didn't want, and all of a sudden, you know. I mean, I think that's probably the worst part is like when you're eating, it's kind of like, ugh, like, come on, man. You know what I mean?
And the
But
first
anywhere else, especially
restaurant.
in a sexual situation, it's kind of funny.
Oh
Or like,
yeah,
or like Angel said, pull the blanket over the head. Like, you got to smell this one, dear. You know what I mean?
that's so funny.
And then it just lingers, and there's ones that just stick on. And then you got the shirts. Oh, those are bad too. I think I'm gonna squeak out a fart, and it's, and then you just feel like your ass let go, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's slimy down there. This is not good. Philly says, I think women are angry all the time because they hold in their
Yeah.
farts. You could be right, man. They're like about to combust and blow up or something, you know? Women are just, but my wife farts worse than me all the time.
Oh my god.
My wife's out there fucking cracking farts all the fucking time, like big ass farts, not the little, like hers are like, like they're loud. She does them, it's like, God damn, woman.
No,
You know,
I do. I'll flirt with my kid around. That's about it. She's the only one that's allowed to like take it. I've definitely had some pretty. If not, she'll say that it sounds like her trombone and things like that. But she is the only one allowed.
uh, oh man. Yeah, the good old Draven Arrow. Sorry, I didn't shout you out later earlier on. So thanks for joining us on the this crazy wacky podcast that we're coming to the end of here right now. It's I guess we're right into the shit end of the discussion here right now, right?
Yes.
Into the butt end of our podcast here right now. The topics are starting to stink, so we're gonna close the show. Oh, great conversation. Anybody else have anything to add? Anybody have a quick question they'd like to fire off before we close the show? Because we're almost an hour and a half in. We've hit most of our topics, and we're already excited to come back next Tuesday and do this all over again.
Yes.
Nice plug. Yeah, as long as it's not a butt plug, right, Philly? Never ride in the backseat of a car with girls after visiting Dairy Queens. Oh my lord. Real horror. Girlfriend locked the power in and all 3 girls let me have it. Oh, nasty.
God.
You're going to call it Dairy Queef after that one. Oh, I smell that one. Oh, man. What was it? I heard this joke one time. What was it? Somebody said, why is a woman's vagina kind of smelly? That's because when God created women, he put the outhouse too close to the snack bar. Hey, guys' dinglings are pretty smelly too, and it gets pretty rank down under that ball sack, man. Tit sweat and ball sweat. That's a topic for another day. There you go, Prime. We'll keep that one on the list. Tit sweat and ball sweat. Do you powder?
Thought it had flavor.
No. Oh man. Fuck. Everybody's like, what the fuck podcast did we show up to here? What the fuck is this? Right? They're all like, what the hell? Is this a gaming podcast or what is it? Oh man. Some women do smell amazing. Yes, they do. I've been on both ends of that particular spectrum. Yep. So, yep. Some are like roses, and you just can't wait to pluck a petal. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Some are like fish, and you just can't wait to remove your bone from that. Yeah. When it's even worse if they're that bad, you can smell them with their pants on, and you know, fucking, you ain't going next to that. God damn. And we know I've worked with people like that, and you can smell them. You're like, I know what that is, and you need to go fucking wash yourself. Best is when she farts during anal. I think you already summed that one up, did you not, Primal? Oh man.
Well, I don't know. Well, I guess. Well, a queef isn't from.
No. But sometimes massaging the sphincter lets everything else go too, right?
That is true, but I
Yeah.
always hold that one in.
You hold that one in. It's a little nutty down here.
Never mind.
There's another corn fart, right? Fart, a little yellow piece goes flying. There we go. Corn on the cob. Anyway, I'm getting fucking disgusting here. I know the WTFs are about ready to fly out here. It's been a great podcast tonight. We had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you guys will come back again next week. We are loving the compliments and the encouragement we both have gotten from me and Primal. We sincerely thank you guys. We love doing this. When I met Primal first, I knew the two of us had a chemistry. We had that twisted, dark sense of humor and couldn't wait to actually start this podcast up. And we all know that a lot of times when there's ladies on podcasts too, that they get overshadowed. They kind of get like, 20 seconds an episode to say something, and then they're kind of hushed off in the background. Not on this one. Primal gets to say her share. She gets to chip in on the discussion. She is as much as this podcast as I am. But I'm used to talking because I was a radio DJ for 4.5 years. So, that's how I roll. But anyway, we're going to end the show here. Primal, any final words before we take off?
No, I have anal on the brain and farting. So thank you, Silent, for bringing that up. I'll be that thought for later. But no, I don't really I don't really have and anything extra to say besides like you said, Noof, everybody here that's been supporting us has been really, really awesome. And some of you guys have even come over from the game dosage that we were on. It's really great to see you guys and have you support us. So thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. We greatly appreciate it. Lots of people say it. We truly mean it. That's why I believe firmly in the shout outs and acknowledging everybody to come out, because without each and every one of you, we don't have an audience. And this is pointless. It'd just be me and Primal just been a brain fart, pardon the pun, to ourselves. So we greatly appreciate it. You guys are all important. Even if this podcast ever grows, I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure everybody knows that you are appreciated, whether you're here for a minute or you're here for the whole show. We appreciate what you guys bring to the table. And hopefully that you'll like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And me and Primal can take this in great places. So we'll hope to see you again next Tuesday, same time, same place. More great topics, more weird discussions, all that good stuff. Everybody, you guys have a fantastic night. Stay safe, have fun, play some games, all that good stuff. Primal, where can people find you?
Everybody can find me on Twitter at Primal Eve, and then you can also come and play with me on the Xbox, also Primal Eve.
There you have it. And the guys, you know where to find me. Always in the gutter. And you'll find me on Xbox at Noof Nukem. If you haven't added me, please feel free to do so. Send me a message though, so I can add you back because I get the notifications, but it just says follow. So just say something, hi Noof, you know where you met me or something like that. I'll be glad to add you, and I certainly love to play games, especially with new people all the time. And you'll find me on PlayStation as well at Noof Nukem 76. I have a Switch code, can't remember what the fuck it is, but send me a message. I'd be glad to send it over to you as well. I play on all three systems. I do not discriminate. I masturbate. That's how Noof rolls. It's all fun, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you next Tuesday. Peace out.
Good night, everybody.